Say, I am the greatest. Look at us, mama, we made it. I'm going in like I'm bathing. Yeah, they had a buzz, but we shaved it. They got me feeling like some gauges, cause I'm in the air with it, baby. Had to get away from being basic and work hard on a regular basis. I'ma let them talk till it's my time and I ain't gon' say shit. Give them bars like cages, and they still got a few more cases. You can unplug from the matrix and open your mind a little and see that it's fucking funny like a...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. It's Talking Riches again, and today we have Kelly Robinson, the comedian from Queens, New York. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming to the show. Allow me your presence again. Today you're making it happen, and so what, man? So thank you.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. So on the show, I like to talk about the foundation, the blueprint of who you are today, your challenges and your road to becoming the comedian that you are to as well. So let's start with the foundation.
Spit it out, man.
Yeah, I know, man. My gun will be coming out sometimes. You know, Charleston. You know, so I gotta.
Scotch with the alphabet.
So let's start with your foundation, your family foundation.
Well, I come from. I'm one of the only black people that you probably would hear that come from a two-family household. You know, two-parent household, rather. My mom is a doctor. My dad's a teacher. I grew up not in the hood, so don't really have that story either because my mom was a doctor, my father was a teacher, and they're very young.
Right.
So them being very, very committed to what they had to do kept us out of the hood per se.
Correct.
And so I grew up in Laurelton, Queens, which is the richest black neighborhood in the world.
Oh wow, what's it called?
Laurelton.
Laurelton.
Yeah, man, look it up.
Nice.
Queens.
So, Queens, what is something about Queens that a lot of people don't know about that you have to embed into yourself in the culture of Queens?
Queens is the most diverse place in the world. There's more languages spoken in Queens than anywhere else. There's more food, different sorts of food that you can find in Queens more than anywhere else. Different races and ethnicities, hence the languages spoken. So there's a tremendous amount of experience that you can get from different traditions and different lifestyles and things of that nature just being in Queens. It's like the melting pot. When they talk about New York City, they're talking about Queens when they're talking about that melting pot. So,
and I know a famous musician, Jam Master Jay.
Absolutely.
He's from Queens.
Yes.
So with that music culture being what it is, how important it is for you to understand the culture of the hip hop, educating yourself too as well growing up?
Well, I appreciate. See, Queens is one of the most underrated boroughs. When you hear about New York, you don't really hear about too many people talk about Queens at all. You hear about Harlem, you hear about the Bronx, because of Cardi B now.
Yeah.
You hear about Brooklyn. But it's very rare that you hear about Queens. But our culture is rich. We have arguably one of the greatest rappers of all time to come out of Queens, which is Nas. We have a bunch of entrepreneurs and heavyweight big time acts that ever came out that from music came from Queens, like LL Cool J, Run DMC, 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, Tribe Called Quest, you name it, they're there.
Nice.
Like we can go all day. But it's Lil DJ Just, first youngest DJ in hip hop, was from Queens. Everybody's from like Queens, but we don't get our respect. But there the music is.
It's only because because right now I moved to Brooklyn last year, and a lot of people say, "Hey, Queens is a really part of Brooklyn." Like I was like, "Hey, I gotta go to Queens." Well, it's really upper Brooklyn. I said, "But it's separate."
Because we don't have a bridge. So like every other borough you have to use a bridge just to get there. But we're the brother and sister borough because it is Kings County and Queens County.
That makes sense. That's why it's Kings County. I didn't get it.
Kings County, Queens
Gotcha.
County. So yeah, we're connected. But truth be told, if they do their research, they'll find out that we're all Long Island. We're not even that. They did some old stuff and broke us up into the counties of Kings and Queens and stuff like that. But we were originally all part of Long Island. That's why we're all still connected and stuff.
Nice. So what's your father being a teacher, your mother being a doctor, and you as a kid, you see them grow in those professions. What made you want to lead towards the profession of comedy?
Really, it's just is the most natural thing that came. Obviously, with my parents' professions, they weren't gonna be quite supportive of just trying to just be something other than something concrete that they can put a stamp on and say that yes, you're going to be successful in this because it's a doctor and they have a salary that is already there, and a teacher that's a salary that's already there. But I tried those avenues when I was in college.
What college did you go to?
I went to York College, Syracuse University, LIU, Brooklyn, and City College. Yeah, City College, Syracuse, LIU, Brooklyn, York College. Yeah.
Nice. And that's when you realize,
graduated from none.
Break that down. Break down the story on why.
Just because, number one, people finish things that they're into. You have to be into it. Like, that wasn't my passion, that wasn't my dream. So many people go to school with the understanding that that's what they're supposed to do. And truth be told, it's not. I'm somebody that preaches entrepreneurship because I feel as if we're kind of programmed to go to school. We're programmed because our forefathers and people, our ancestors, have told us to do that because they weren't able to. So because they weren't able to, it's kind of forced on us. Like, yeah, instead of knowing that, that's just one avenue that you can go down. And I found that out during college that there are multiple avenues that I can go down to be successful. And I chose a different route.
Nice. So if you're not taking a non-traditional pathway, right, to success, what was your mental going through, like, okay, what if this don't work, or what if it does work? What is that faith that you instill to yourself to keep going?
The same thing that I try to tell people in regular life. You'll have a job. You're gonna go so hard and then get a job, and then if you get fired, you have to start over. You have to do something else. Life doesn't stop. So with this, it's almost like a trial and error. So with this, it's almost the same thing. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're gonna probably make a lot of mistakes, but you can't let that discourage you. You got to continue to stay on your path. If you want to be an entrepreneur, the fact that it's not taught, entrepreneurship is not taught. It's not something that we find in classrooms. They're not taught, especially in New York City public school. We're not taught entrepreneurship. We're taught to go get a job. So if you're gonna go down the path of entrepreneurship, that's you have to understand that that's something that nobody's really teaching you.
Right.
So you're gonna have to teach yourself and understand that there are gonna be a lot of bumps in the road along that way because you don't really have a rubric to kind of fall from. So just embracing those mistakes and just keep going forward.
And a lot of people, I tell a lot of people too as well, jobs, you can be replaced, right? You know, you pass away, you work there 50 years, 60 years, putting your hard time, dedication to a job. Then the very next day, you know, you pass away, they're gonna send your family a nice little card. Hey, we're sorry for your loss, but you know, jobs posted on Indeed the next day. You know what I'm saying? As an entrepreneur, you pass that down. So that's a big difference. I explain to people all the time, hey man, no, you gotta work today. You working overtime, bro? I'm gonna take more taxes anyway. You work, yeah.
What I usually tell people just for the entrepreneurship is just understanding that the only two things you own in this world is your time and your energy. So if you have a job, essentially you're signing away your time and your energy.
Right.
So you no longer own that. So you can't complain when you don't have the time or the energy to do anything because you kind of signed it away already. But just making sure that you're an entrepreneur that's taking your time and your energy back. And at that point in time, you have to learn how to govern it. And it's a challenge. And a lot of people are very scared of it because, again, it's something out the norm. It's something different because it's not taught. You're only taught one way. And that's programming. If everybody's taught one way, they don't tell you the other avenues. So
nice.
It's just people just trying to make sure that they stay focused with it. Man.
Nice. So you enter your comedy journey. When was the first day that you realized, okay, let me just go ahead and take this serious and take my foot and put 2 feet in and jump?
I want to say more so like I went to an open mic. A friend of mine, she brought me to an open mic, and she saw we discussed the comedy. She knows I was funny or whatever, and we discussed me ever trying to do an open mic. I didn't know that she already signed me up for the open mic, so I went up there, you know, because I'm not scared. I'm gonna do it anyway. No material. Went up there, and I didn't get the laughs that I knew I could get. I was capable of, and I'm very prideful. I'm very competitive. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come back to the open mic. Came back the next week, the following week, and I felt like I wasn't the funniest. I felt like I was probably the second funniest. Yeah. So I wanted that challenge again. Came back the following week, and then I felt like I was the funniest. And then like the competitiveness in me was like, you know what? There's a lot of people that do this. there's nothing that I get into that I don't feel as if I can really be good at it. So I was like, let me just get ahead and keep going with it because these people like it. So I did it. A lot of other comedians I can't say the same for because I see a lot of comedians, they do it because they want to be funny.
Correct.
I just so happen to naturally.
Right. And it's finding a natural gift is important. Me, I love having natural conversations. I grew up without technology. You know what I'm saying? So imagine going through high school, you're 18. Yeah, man, listen, dog. My mom was like, no, nothing, dog. We actually had to hang the clothes outside to let it dry and stuff like that. So, I feel like I was rich, but as a kid, you always feel like you got everything. And like with that, like for me to actually have conversation with people, holler at girls, I had to lie to them, like hey, my cell phone just broke. Like if you give me your number, I'm saying I'll call you from my house phone. But then if you call me back, my grandma pick up the phone, just hey, I'll call you right back. You know what I'm saying? I had like a whole. I used to memorize numbers and write it on the wall.
Had a time probably next to them.
Yeah, like hey, call us at 9. You know what I'm saying? I had a time slot to them boys. So like, but over time I built my conversation game and got really good at communicating and actually talking to like a lot more older people. So having a natural gift is very important. So with that said, finding your purpose, right? Why is it important for someone to find a purpose and to hone into that craft?
That's actually what I'm actually, I have a whole business that goes about that. Like I deal into just energy. Like I feel as if like everybody has a certain energy that they are born with. And it's a known fact. It's like life path numbers and everything, not to get too deep into all of that, but just finding your energy and staying in that, because once you find what your purpose is here, through that energy, it's so much easier to do with life. Like I'm naturally, when you do, like me finding my spiritual journey, I found out that I was a life path 8. That means that I'm a money manifestor.
Right. Same.
So that's the fuck I do, man.
Yep.
That's why I see you got an entrepreneur shirt for those of you guys that are not seeing this. He has a shirt that lets you know what he does for a living.
Yep.
Amazing.
And guys, from my homie, owner of Black Million Years, and I'm sure you know those guys, that be with EYL and all of them, Ariel Leisure and everything. So one of my homies.
Dope.
So bless me with these shirts.
Probably the best podcast, top 5 best podcasts.
Yep. So shout out to James Hill and all from Black Million Years, EYL cast, and Cedric the Millionaire next door.
Give me his shirt because he can't fit.
Yeah.
That is.
Hey, these push-ups.
Very strong, brother. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of up top.
Yeah.
But once he gets down, he's real skinny down on the legs. Not gonna lie, but up here he's
no leg day. I haven't did leg day in about months. I'll tell you that, dog. So with that, so you know your journey of you want to be a comedian, right? Did you study any comedians that you wanted to kind of hone in your skills into?
A few, just to give myself diversity. My idol is Eddie Murphy. I idolize that man. Everything about him is why I wanted to be in the comedy. His whole demeanor and everything, like how he was able to. I fancy myself as a handsome gentleman. And if that, I feel as if there are not too many comedians that fancy themselves to be handsome. They want to be funny. And it's like, you can do both.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy did it. And he made a career off that shit. I just really we don't have another Eddie Murphy. We need a new one. So I just felt like that style of just making sure that you can still be real, be a person that ladies can like, and still be funny. I felt like that was really important to me. Dave Chappelle, just understanding that Dave Chappelle is somebody that goes out on the stage and doesn't necessarily act out any jokes. He's gonna be able to talk to you and make you laugh for an hour and a half and probably make 3 gestures the whole time, because he wraps you into what he's saying, so you kind of listen and you get a chance to laugh. And that's the style that I often try to take up. Theo Von. I don't
know who that. Explain that.
Oh man, you got to get into white comedy, brother.
Yeah.
Theo Von's a white comedian, brother.
I like.
He's a white man.
What's that guy? Glacius, the Hispanic guy, the fat guy. He's funny.
Iglesias.
Yeah, that's I only inspirational. You know what I'm saying?
They call him Teddy or something.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's a cool guy too. He's a cool guy, but Theo Von, he's cool. Theo Von's really somebody I want to wind up studying more so because of his storytelling. Like his honesty and his storytelling and how he's able to blend his regular life with joking and just learning certain styles from these different comedians. And Red Fox. Red Fox is somebody that I have to put up there too as well, just because of his timing. Red Fox is to me, he was one of the most naturally funniest comedians that we've ever seen because he's having a conversation with you. He's just gonna continue to make you laugh. It's no material. It's just that's who he is.
Nice. So your writing style, how important is it for someone to write a line, understand the punchline of it, bridge it, then bring it back? Some comedians have like their own writing style, but actually delivering it, it's on paper. But do people gotta practice that?
Everybody's style is a little different.
Okay.
For me, I can say that how my style is, it's more so I'm very passionate about what I feel about. Like it's not too much of a joke. I just understand how to turn my personal life and how I feel about personal things and kind of make it into sounding funny. And I feel as if that timing just comes naturally. That's what I was talking about, being naturally funny. You just it's just an innate understanding that you've had. I feel as if, like, I've been a comedian, I feel as if since elementary, junior high school, those times when you're in class making the class laugh.
Right.
I was that kid all the time. So I felt like, and if I even took it real personal and I wasn't the funniest, like, so I worked on trying to make myself
the next day.
Yeah, like hold on, like if somebody would say, like, I remember they had a poll in like in junior high school. I guess they pass out like a bunch of those things, like who's most likely to succeed,
right?
Best dressed and funniest. I didn't make a list. Like, I was number 3, and I was extremely disappointed in myself because I'm competitive. So that whole summer, all I did was watch Eddie Murphy and work on my comedic timing and just think about different things in a different way. And I just felt like that's where it kind of grew from. So.
Nice. And you spoke on personal spiritual development. I'm big in spiritual development, and why is important for people deal with a lot of stuff growing up and really breaking that blockage. Part of your spiritual development area. So what are some tips that you give somebody who's walking in this spiritual path to reach that next level in their life?
Well, just first and foremost, man, it's understanding that you are here for something bigger. You know that you're here for something bigger. I apologize for anything that's being.
Don't touch it, move. Leave it on beat.
Brother, man. Hey, Cam.
Listen. If y'all follow my instructions and see what moves through them, don't touch this.
I apologize.
Don't touch
No, you're good.
Sis.
I'm sorry, you thought it was money right here?
She runs.
It's her thing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, she just didn't know we was back.
Oh.
So, what's your question again?
Spiritual development.
Absolutely, yeah. So just reaching for me, it was just understanding that I wasn't happy. I had alopecia at one point in time because I was going through stress and depression, and a lot of people don't understand that a lot of those things and how we feel, it starts from the household because you don't understand where it comes from, and it stems from a lot of just being in the house, and not to get into everybody's personal details. Just the thing that I brought to you about entrepreneurship again,
right,
was just that the two things that we can own is our time and attention. Now, being a parent, it's kind of hard to give your kid time and attention, which leads these kids, i.e. most children in this world, because if you work a 9 to 5, that's your first job. You kind of have to come back home after that and have a second job of being a parent. And now during that time of being a parent, you have a full-time job, but you're a part-time parent because kids are supposed to be in bed by a certain time. You came home, if you get off at 5, you probably reach home by 6:30. Got to put the kids to bed. You have 6 to 9, that's about 3 hours to feed, interact with the children, get homework done, and have some sort of bonding time, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
And it goes on that people want to do that for years, and kids go on and years, and they lose the bond that they have with that parent. When a kid is initially really, really young, and you have this special bond, and you kind of lose that. Then the parents think that they lose the bond with the kid as well because you have this understanding of the child from when you had him like this, but you're not realizing while you're having a full-time day at work, they're having a full-time life without you. And that full-time life without you, they're developing personalities and things that you're not going to understand because you're nowhere around them. And I feel as if that's a major concern with everybody, and that's why everybody has so many problems and going through a lot of emotional issues and everything, is because we don't have a connection with our loved ones for the most part. Some people are blessed to have somebody in the house, but most people aren't. And I was one of those people that I did and I did not, and it was kind of back and forth. And I don't use it as an excuse, but I do understand that how it can affect someone emotionally at times. And I just wanted to make sure that I got better for myself because I had a child and I wanted to be better for my son. Because my emotional journey started when my spiritual journey started when my son was born. So once he was born, I was like, you know what, this is something that I have to take more serious because I want to be better for him. How I feel about my situation with my parents, I don't want him to feel that way with me. And the number one thing I realized my parents could have did to just make sure we bridge that gap was to just spend more time. So that's why I'm trying to do that. I try to encourage other people to do it, and it comes with just understanding your spiritual journey, because it's kind of hard to tell your parent,
you should just spend more time.
Not just spend more time, but your parent usually feels like because of the sacrifices that they make, that they're the greatest parent in the world. But it's kind of hard to tell your parent, like, it takes nothing from who you are as a person, but you weren't that great of a parent because of this, because a parent needs to have the time and attention. But most parents that provide the time and attention to their kids happen to have these great relationships. When you don't, it kind of messes up a lot of things, and a parent doesn't want to hear that, especially after you know that you wanted to spend time with this kid, but you sacrificed everything to try to provide for the child that you wanted. That all you had to do was kind of just be there for. You know what I mean? So it's hard because once again, it's just something in it's a generational thing. I feel as if it's like it's across the board. It's not just my family. It's families all over. That's something that everybody continues to deal with, and until we start having more entrepreneurs,
right,
we're gonna continue to have that problem.
Yep. So that's why me and my wife discuss all the time. Yeah, until we actually knock out our goals in life, then we'll have a kid. But I don't want to have a kid. Then, as I know, if I have a kid right now, I'm not gonna put the kid. I'm gonna put this in front of the kid. So I'd rather knock out, build it up to where I need to be, then have a kid. So that way everything's good and rolling, and I got the free time everything's self-sufficient. I got the free time. Okay, I can spend 4 days in a row with my kid throughout the whole week, all day long, rather than, all right, cool.
See, that means that you're really responsible. I was having unprotected sex, buddy. I was playing Russian roulette and I lost. I lost. So I got to do what I got to do. It's like, that's what happens. That's the consequences of the game. It's like, now you got to take care of a baby.
Right.
You got a human now, a little human. And but I was willing. You know what I mean? Like, I went into the game like, hey, if I lose, I'll take whatever comes with the loss.
Nice.
And I did not win that game.
Nice. So, like, what is your words of wisdom that either your parents instilled into you, or that you learned throughout your journey in life that you still use today, that you can give to others? And how can someone reach out to you for a big brother or mentorship and to navigate the world of comedy?
Well, the saying that I love, that I go by, that I've heard since I was about 3 or 4 years old, it's something that's always stuck with me because I really live by it. Is practice doesn't make perfect unless you practice the right things. You see people in the basketball park all the time shooting around. I worked on my game. I see those people playing around all the time. I can take 2-3 years off. I go out and I'm better. Why? Because I practiced on what was needed to be before I did anything. So between that and that, it goes for everything. You practice. If you do everything the right way, you practice the right way, you're gonna get the bright results. So if you're doing anything half-assed, you're gonna get half-assed results.
Correct.
You can't expect yourself to just jump to the top of anything if you don't take the necessary steps. And it's that tedious work, that behind-the-scenes work, is the stuff that makes you shine in the end. So don't shy away from it. When it comes to entrepreneurship, because you don't know and you were not taught this, understand that you have to teach yourself and go back ahead and remember the same way how you had to teach yourself in school and they taught you how to work for somebody else. You need to put yourself in your own school. You utilize YouTube, utilize the library, utilize these books and articles and things of that nature to teach yourself and educate yourself so you can get on that other side of the fence. Because you can either be the worker or you can be the boss. And there's only two things you can do. It's nothing else.
Nice, man. So how can someone reach out to you for bookings or mentorship?
My name is Kelly Robinson. You can find me everywhere on Kelly Robinson, Instagram at It's Kelly Rob, spelled out just like that. No funny phonetic stuff. It's Kelly Rob on Instagram. Facebook is Kelly Robinson. My name is very unisex, so if you see any of those white people, no, that's not like a lover of mine or nothing. I am Kelly Robinson. Just look for the black brother, and I'll be there.
Nice, man. So appreciate you for coming to the show, dog. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. This shit is amazing.